go. Hello, bet you didn't think you'd see me again. That's actually the reason that I'm doing this video. I thought it was time I did an update, especially after everything has now settled, which I'll explain in a moment. But I just wanted to introduce this video and just firstly say I'm sorry. I'm sorry for being inactive. I wholeheartedly... One second. Sorry about that. So as I was saying, I realise obviously I've been inactive for a long time. So apologies first of all. But what I will say is I promise now that I will be much more active. I'll talk more about that later, but just ahead of time, I'm actually planning on a new schedule of Mondays and Fridays. So I'm hoping to post twice a week at the moment. I'm going to trial that first. That's my goal. I won't absolutely promise to it just because things are still new, but that's the goal. If I can't reach that, then it will be probably every Wednesday if I'm finding that I can only put a video out once a week. But I'm going to try for every Monday and Friday. Worst case scenario, you just get one on a Monday or a Friday or a Wednesday. If I find that twice a week is just not doable for me, then I'll just change the schedule to every Wednesday. But look forward, hopefully, to a video every Monday and Friday going forward. So first of all, before I get into that further, the reason that I was inactive, without airing too much dirty laundry on YouTube, is so the last vlog that you will have seen was me getting ready to go to Spain last year. I know. That did happen. I did record everything, but in the midst of editing that vlog, lots of things happened in my personal life. You may also realise that I'm in a different setting. Again, I'm going to get to that. But yeah, lots of stuff happened in my personal life that I won't go into too much detail about, but it got to a stage where Jordan and I were getting into a little bit of, let's say, financial trouble. Just because that's happened, I will apologise. The windows in this place are not brilliant, so you might get some background noise, which I apologise for. But yeah, so around that time, things were getting a little bit hard for me and Jordan, which I think was the case for most people in this country. In the UK, we were starting to go through, and are still going through now, a financial crisis. It's called the financial crisis, the cost of living crisis, lots of things, lots of names, but it's pretty much plainly just that everybody's struggling at the moment. It's for various reasons, war, interest rates, just lots of different things that are impacting the economy, and not just in the UK, in most countries, pretty much around the world at the moment. Everybody's hitting on hard times and struggling a little bit, and Jordan and I were no exception. And again, without going into too much detail, it got to a stage where we were worried for our situation, our living situation, and because of things that had happened in previous years as well, we weren't on the best footing. So we were just about getting by, and we were just worried about what the future was going to look like. So we made a hard decision to basically move out of our old house and move in with parents, which was hard. It was really hard. We had been living together for 4 years, maybe 5, I think it was 4 years at that time. So to then, especially not long being engaged, to be split up that way, it was hard. But we did it because we just thought it was the smartest option. And we just kind of wanted to do damage control, and we didn't want things to just get even worse. And the predictions for the economy were that things were going to get even worse. And we were just about staying afloat as it was, and we just didn't want to sink. So we made that hard decision to let our old house go and move in with family. So I moved in with my dad, and Jordan moved in with his mum. Again, I won't go too much into that because I don't want to tell all of his business and things like that. But obviously, because we were now not split but apart, and we were living with family and we didn't have our own house, this is where things kind of had to grind to a halt when it comes to my channel. It may be a little bit of an excuse. I probably could have filmed videos at my dad's, but bless him, he did everything he could. But the only spare room that he had was this tiny little box room, which I didn't even really have space for my stuff, let alone a big setup and lots of art things and all sorts. A lot of my art stuff had to go into storage, so I didn't really have access to a lot of my stuff, so it would have been a lot of digital art videos, and I certainly wouldn't have been able to run a shop from my dad's house. So it did mean that I couldn't really create much more content. So I kind of did have to put my channel on hiatus, and I appreciate that I didn't tell anyone, so I'm sorry about that. Things just moved really quickly, so I didn't really have the chance to warn anybody. I just kind of had to disappear for a little bit. But as I say, back now. Because of that, the shop couldn't go ahead as planned. I was actually planning on launching not long after Spain. I was going to launch probably sort of late summer, early autumn, which again would have been not long after Spain, but then that's pretty much when things were getting to a point where we thought we need to move out, basically. So shop on hold, YouTube on hold, and the plan was that we were only going to live with family for 3 or 4 months, just while we got money together and things like that, see how things were in the economy and whether they would start to balance out and things like that. It annoyingly turned into 11 months because the rental market at the moment is an absolute joke. And I know that's definitely not just in the UK, I'm pretty sure that's in most countries, because I know America, it's pretty much the same over there. But the rental market is a shambles at the moment. So finding a new place was hard. It was really tricky. So what was supposed to be short term ended up being fairly long term. But thankfully, 11 months later, we are now here in our new house, in a new town. So we're further away than we've ever been from family. We've always stayed in the same town as where we grew up, and now we've moved out of it and we've moved into the next borough. So things are new, and it's taking some adjusting to, but we like it here. We're finally settled. We're happy to be back together. We had to leave Artemis with a fosterer because both of our families have dogs, so we couldn't keep him with us. So we basically left him with a foster family and paid for his expenses every month. So that was really hard, not being able to see him, but he's back with us now as well. So we're back together as a family. in our new house. I'm just trying to get settled. We've been here, while I'm filming this video, we've been here for almost 4 weeks. So it's been just over 3 weeks, creeping into a month. And yeah, we're finally getting settled down and just trying to make it our own a little bit and make it more homely. We actually had friends over last night and that helped, having familiar faces around and things, because like I say, we're in a new town now, so things are unfamiliar and it is taking longer than it necessarily would otherwise would have to get settled in our new place. But because we had friends around yesterday, it definitely helped to make it feel more homely, so that was good. That's basically the reason that I went MIA, and again, apologies, but that shouldn't happen again now going forward. So that's pretty much the reasons and the run up to from then until now. I'm planning on adding the Spain vlog footage to the end of this video, depending on how long it is. I was fully planning on, at the time, I was planning on doing a whole voiceover and explaining everything that I saw and things like that. But honestly now, it's been well over a year since I went, and a lot of the stuff I've forgotten. So I won't be able to add a voiceover, just full disclosure, there's no voiceover for the end of this. It will just be sort of like a Spanish montage, let's say. But I took the footage, and some of the places that I saw were so beautiful that I do want to share them, so I will add it either to the end of this vlog or just do a very small separate video just with music and footage for you to see. So recent news is that, as I say, the biggest news is that we've moved house. I was going to do a house tour for you, but I decided against it simply because there's still a lot that we want to do with the house and things. So if anything, I'd rather we get the house to a point where we're completely happy with it and then we show it to you. So I'm not going to do a house tour, but this area I'm planning on doing book chats and things like that. As you see, I've got my books here, so you'll see a lot of this setting. I'll probably change it up to make it seasonal and things like that at different times in the year, but you'll see a lot of this setup, and you'll see my office, which is on the top floor. I am sharing an office now with Jordan, because this is a 2-bedroom place, whereas our last one was 3, so we had an office each. This one we're sharing an office, but we actually like it that way. It's quite cozy, and it does mean that when we're playing games together, we can talk to each other and, I don't know, have that closeness and cutesiness. The downside is, because it's on the top floor, it gets super hot up there, and at the moment, with the way that summers have been because of global warming and everything, it's just getting hotter and hotter every summer, and I honestly don't know how we're going to cope up there. We're going to have to sort out some kind of cooling system or something, because it just gets far too hot up there. But I digress. You'll see that office space when I'm doing art stuff, shop stuff, all of that stuff, and then when I'm doing lifestyle things and book chats, this is what you'll see. So just off the back of that, you'll have also noticed that the channel looks completely different. New name, new graphics, new content, to be honest. So obviously before, the channel was Club Cute, because that was what the shop was going to become. During everything that happened, I was thinking about brand identity, let's say, and I wanted to change the way that I do my content by including my other hobbies as well, but also I wanted to take away that third party ness of things. Obviously Club Cute, the shop was called that because it was supposed to be a brand. I wanted to open the shop as a brand rather than as me. And I was thinking about that, and I decided that actually no, I'm the one who's going to be creating the illustrations. I do all the content, I do everything. It's a part of me that I put into that work. So I just thought it makes sense that I make it more personal, and I make the brand around me and what I do, as opposed to, as I say, like a third party kind of vibe. So Club Cute is now gone, and the channel is now Becks for me, named after me. It was going to just be Becks Illustrations, but there's a lot of Becks on the internet already. So I decided to keep Mercury from when I was Mercury Moonbow and add it to the end, so now it's Becks Mercury. So I'm Becks Mercury on YouTube, Instagram and Twitter. Do I have anything else? There'll be other things. And then obviously it will be that on Etsy. If you aren't already following me on those channels, that's all you would need to search to find me. But if you were following me when I was Club Cute, then I've just changed all the usernames and everything, so I'll still be there in your feed. But again, now I'm planning to be a lot more active. Now we're finally settling down, I'm going to have the time and the space to actually make regular content. So it will be under Becks Mercury. Now, as for the content, obviously the channel is going to be centered around illustration. That's the point of the channel, really, is to showcase my art and connect with you guys, and about art, and try and make some artist friends, I'd like to hope, and things like that. But also I do want to do more content around books, because I love books, I love reading, I love writing. That's probably my second passion, very, very close second passion after illustration. So if you want to hear me talk about books I'm reading or anything like that, then please do watch those videos as well. And then in between illustrations and books, there'll be lifestyle type of videos. So just where I update you on what I'm up to in daily life, whether I'm going to like an event or something local, just all that kind of fun stuff, shopping hauls, all of that kind of stuff. So if you're into lifestyle videos as well, definitely check those out too. I've already got one queued up that I edited recently, and that will be uploaded shortly after this one. So that will be my first lifestyle vlog as opposed to an art vlog. So if you want to check that out, I'd be very grateful. But that's the kind of content that's going to be on this channel going forward. So if you want to stick around for the art videos, there'll be loads of those. But if you also want to see book stuff and lifestyle stuff, then keep a lookout for those as well. So just to wrap up and try and bullet point as best I can without rambling, going forward, that will be the content. We are now Becks Mercury as opposed to Club Cute, and the current upload schedule that I'm aiming for is every Monday and Friday. But if that's not obtainable and I find that I just can't meet that, rather than let you guys down week after week, then I will just change to every Wednesday instead, and then any extra content that I have in between I'll just upload as we go. But that's all from me in terms of this update. If you watched to the end, thank you. And I do hope that you'll stick around and look forward to the content that's going to be coming up. In terms of the shop, I am so close to launching, it's unreal. But I won't talk too much about that because I'll be talking about it in the next vlog. But look forward to it is all I'm saying. We're going to be launching very, very soon, and I'm so excited. I'm really looking forward to it. But that's all from me for now, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for being patient with me. It's really appreciated. Love you. Bye.